Hello everybody, I'm here today with a little quick and easy and encouraging video for you today as part of the Everyday Art Hop. I got to thinking about what could I share with you that might encourage you or help you get started on working with a blank page or getting over a creative hump. And I thought, well, something I always fall back on is circles. Circles is an easy theme. You don't have to have fancy stencils. You don't have to have fancy tools. There's all kinds of ways that you can make marks on your paper without spending a fortune, okay? Let me just run over a few of those. Now, I will say this was done with a stencil. This is just a wipe off sheet from something else that I'd done. So there's already a little bit of circle stuff happening here. I have pulled out just odds and ends of stuff. I literally just opened my drawers of ephemera and paper pieces and just, without thinking a whole lot about it, just pulled stuff out. I have some butterflies that I'd cut out for a project. I have some scallop circles that I've had punched forever. This was sent to me by someone, again, circle theme. This you saw me make not too long ago. I made a big sheet of this, and it has a lot of repeating circle themes, both through the stencil, and there's texture paste on here too that is small dots. You may not be able to see it real well. Some doilies, some of them are different sizes, some of them I've torn up. Some tickets, some corrugated stuff that can either be added to the page or can actually be your stamper, your mark maker. And this is actually a piece of a paper towel, but I thought the colors were so incredible on it. Pretty sure these are Dylusions inks, and then there's a little bit, this darker purple is a Tattered Angels spray, but that was so pretty I hated to throw away. I don't normally save my baby wipes and my paper towels. I know that's going to give some of you heart failure, but I just have so much stuff that I choose not to save that. So I have all of those things that we're going to work with. And then as far as making marks on your paper, there's a myriad of things that you probably don't even think about right in your house, right in your craft room, that you can use in this instance to make circles. I have some sponge daubers. You can buy an assorted bag of these at your big box store for next to nothing. I have this stuff. I don't know what this is. It came to me in a box of Happy Meal. I don't know if this is what they call punchinella. I don't know what this is, but we're going to play with that. I even dug out this round paper clip. See that swirly design? I'm not sure how to use it as a stamp. I may have to glue it to something to use, but I thought, well, that might be able to make some marks. The humble but ever popular toilet paper tube roll. These make great marks. I just watched a video here recently from Marta with Marimay's Small Art, where she cut little strips in here, flattened it, and used it to make a beautiful dandelion type print. And then I have this little box of stuff that I always have at hand. I have some packaging. These went together, okay? So you've got a couple different ways that you could use this, either as the circles or as the flat part. Bubble wrap. Never throw away bubble wrap. Plastic canvas. Lids off of anything and everything. This is the inside of a roll of tape. Top of a glue thing. More lids of things and different shapes of things. More plastic canvas that happens to be round. As you can see, I've got all kinds of stuff in here. Cardboard that I've used to stamp with. More bubble wrap, of course. Big bubble wrap. I don't know if you can see how big those bubbles are. Yeah, more plastic canvas. But there's all kinds of things that you may not have thought about that you can use to stamp or make marks or paint on your projects without spending money, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all this stuff. I'm not going to get out any of my fancy schmancy stencils, tools, anything like that. I'm going to work just with what I've showed you. This miscellaneous bunch of paper. the mark making tools, and then I'm just going to grab some paint and ink, and we're going to see where this goes. You may not even see this by the time I get done with it. I don't know. Also don't know what these are. Some kind of sprays. I don't know if they're going to be water fast or not. But I encourage you to look around and see what you have. Don't think about, oh, I have to run to XYZ store or order online from blah, 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 because I need this fancy who's gonna watch it thingamajiggy to make art with. Because you don't, okay? This is a good reminder for those of us that have a lot of stuff and don't necessarily need to be buying any more stuff. Yes, that's me. Or people that are new to mixed media and making art, that think, oh, I can't do that because I don't have blah, blah, blah. You don't need blah, blah, blah. You just need some basic supplies, some paper, something to put color down with, and miscellaneous hoo-ha to make marks with. So sit back, relax. Let's just see where this goes with just this little bit of stuff that I have out here, and we'll see what happens. And I encourage you to get your supplies out and do the same. All right, thanks for coming by, and here we go. Okay, so not only do I want this to be easy, simple supplies, I want this to be easy, simple techniques. So I'm just, with a flat brush and some paint, just getting some color on the page. And I have no rhyme or reason to these colors that I'm using. I happen to have 4 tubes of paint that are really pretty colors that I haven't used yet. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to use these. Don't necessarily go with the little dotted stuff in the background, but I don't care because probably most of that's going to get covered up. So quick, easy, fast brush strokes. Doing a little stamping with the lids and the paper toilet roll and some different things, and not thinking a whole lot about layout, composition, or anything. I'm just kind of letting it roll. And you know, this turned out to be a very enjoyable project for me because I didn't overthink it. I had limited supplies. I knew I wanted to work quickly. I didn't think about it too hard, and I really enjoyed it. Here I'm using a really expensive tool called my finger. Just adding some white to the inside of these circles to brighten them up and make them show up a little bit more on that background. And I even accidentally got some of the paint wasn't dry and started mixing in. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just mix some of this paint then and put some of the green in the green and some of the orange in the orange, or peach, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it started out as an accident and I just rolled with it. Here I'm going to use this fun little strip of whatever this stuff is and some white paint, and just quick and easy stencil right through that, some little dot patterns. This is a fun piece of whatever this stuff is. I'll use this again. I don't know what it is, but I like it. So then I go back and try to re-emphasize some of the circles because they kind of lost their circleness. Is that a word? It is now. And there's that paper clip. This worked pretty good. Messy. I think if I was going to use this continually, I would attach it to something other than just using it with my fingers. But for this, I just rolled with it. Alright, so I know that I need some kind of focal point in the middle of this, so I decided to use this big cardboard circle that someone had sent me with these 2 little tickets. I thought that would be good. One of them says wish, and that'll sort of be the focus. Decided to add a few more dots with the sponge dauber, and these are kind of like reverse of the circles that we've already done, where they're the solid color, and then I'm going to paint white around the edge of those. You can't see it real well here, but you'll see it in the close-up pictures at the end. Then I'm going to add just a few white highlights on some of the other circles. Nothing fancy. Again, not thinking real hard about this, just getting color and pattern down on the paper and seeing where it leads me. Alright, here I did pull out something extra. This is my Stabilo All pencil and a water brush, and I'm just very quickly adding some shadows around all these circles to give them a little bit more definition. If you don't have a Stabilo all pencil, there's all kinds of different things you could use. You could even just use a pencil and smudge the lead with your finger, or some kind of a gray marker or something like that. If you want to add that definition around these, you don't have to use what I use, and you don't have to do what I do. I'm just giving you some ideas. Okay, now my trusty baby toothbrush, and I'm going to add some pink and purple splatters. When I do this, all I do is simply add a little bit of water, thin the paint down just a little bit, and then just use my thumbnail to rake across those bristles. Here I'm going to attach a doily in the middle, and this is going to show through that blue and green circle. Stenciled through a piece of plastic canvas with some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. Got a little heavy-handed with it and lost some of the pattern, but that's okay. The pretty color and shine is still there. And here's my circle. And I'm sorry about this. I'm off camera a little bit, and I'm hot gluing the tickets on there. And then I decide, well, duh, that's not enough stuff. So I start hot gluing butterflies on here as well. Just kind of randomly, willy-nilly, not real flat, kind of hanging off the edge and sticking up here and there. I'm going to glue the whole circle down now that I'm done sticking stuff on the back side of it. And away we go. I wish I hadn't added that one little pink butterfly. He's kind of out of place with everything else. And you'll see me try to add another big pink butterfly in there, trying to bring more pink, and I'm like, nah, that's too much. And then I'm looking around on my desk, and lo and behold, there's 2 paper flowers. So I cut the stems off of those. I don't even bother coloring them or anything. I just glue them down, glue a couple of teeny tiny butterflies around them and on them. And actually, after the fact, I took the stems that I cut off and curled them and glued them onto. So you'll see those in the pictures. But anyway, I encourage you to use what you have. Just get some color on the page, some pattern on the page, and see where it leads you. So I really appreciate you coming by. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.